It's me, Nick Flippo, and Turbo Stewart. Welcome in. Thanks for tuning in on the Salesman Podcast, episode 2, with our good friend Erik Ebsen. Bones of the Earth also played guitar in Auric back in the day, and played bass on the Judas and Void record. And announced on Facebook yesterday he's got another little project going on. Maybe we'll talk some more on that if you want.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. But what's up, dude?
Oh, not too much. Just got home from work, drinking some water. You know how it goes.
Nice. I'm not drinking water, but I'm drinking some body armor because I'm severely dehydrated.
Yeah,
all the coffee.
Same. So
yeah, it was all the coffee. I drank way too much coffee today before the gym, and totally thought I was going to die afterwards.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was gnarly. It was. I had to get a ride from Turbo's mom to take me to Casey's real quick, get some food to fuel me up, and I was like, we're like halfway down the road. And I'm like, please pull over. I've got to spew. And I fucking just threw up straight just water from the water I drank in the workout. And but I felt so much better. And then I drank a chocolate milk, and now I'm just drinking body armor. I feel great now.
Oh, awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So what have you been up to, Erik?
Man, just started showing right now. Got this Void of Fenrir record that I'm working on, which I talked about, like, I don't know, maybe last month or so. Doing that on my own, basically. It's a project that I made like 6 years ago, and I just decided, it's COVID time. It's time for a personal project at home. So that's what I've been mainly focusing on at home.
Dude, that's awesome. You sent it to me the other day with some different amp options that you had running on it, and it just sounds freaking awesome. I'm really liking. I like where it's going so far, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked on it. I guess I just had like a whole rush of ideas within the last few weeks or so, and just started writing relentlessly. I'm kind of stuck right now, but I'm working on it still.
Dude, yeah, writer's block is a thing. I fucking feel you. Sometimes you gotta like start a new series or read a new book, or like just go on a crazy fucking adventure, and you can like get the spark. And sometimes you don't have to do any of that. It just happens. It just hits you. The block's over.
Yeah. Like generally you just have to wait for the inspiration to strike, because you just can't like force it. But I've also heard that you can force it if you do it every day. You'll have like a little idea, and then you can build on that one little idea every day. But me, it's just like it's whatever happens.
Yeah. That's how a lot of songs come together for us. But other times I'll have like a small idea that grows with like in years and years, and then it's like, oh, that's how this is gonna be. Like just little bits that you think can go with an old riff,
Yeah, absolutely. And songs. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm sorry. I watched a TED Talk a while ago, and it was about this guy who studied like writer's block and multitasking, and he said that he's found it very constructive to have multiple things going on at once, and whenever you get stuck on one thing, you go to the other project that you're working on, and so you're always staying busy, but you do it in your own time. So like it could take years, or it could take months or weeks, whatever. It just depends.
Right. I think I've heard of doing something like that, just having multiple projects, and if you get burned out on one, go to the other.
Yeah. It makes sense. I don't know how, I guess that's what I typically do most of the time, is like you get something going for a while because you have a good idea, and then you just drop it, and then you come back to it whenever you feel like the inspiration is coming back for that certain piece or whatever it may be. I want to get a
Absolutely.
pottery wheel. I want a pottery wheel.
That was random. That was a left turn right there, man.
Well, it's like art and like, creating
Yeah.
things, and I think pottery would be super cool to try.
I took pottery class in high school, and you can make anything you wanted except for ashtrays and pipes. You break them on the spot. But it was the coolest. It was the coolest art teacher I've ever had, Mr. Milan. He would put on the rock radio station. We'd be listening to Zeppelin and The Who and Van Halen. Rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
Blasted Van Halen went on the
Man, yeah, that tore me up today, man. I sit and cranked Van Halen records all day after that.
Yeah, I've only really had like the first one, but that first one was a big one, and like still probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of 1984 5150, but like, you're probably gonna hate me for this, but I've actually never listened to those. Like, I've only listened to like the first record and like some songs throughout their discography.
Dude,
Like,
that's crazy. I mean, I've not listened to much of 5150. I wasn't much of a Hagar guy, a Van Hagar, but like 1984 that's a banger. That's one I grew up with for sure. And same with like Women and Children First. I think Van Halen 2 is like their weakest album.
Probably sounds about right. Again, I wouldn't really know. I mean, I've pretty much only had that first record, and like I could sit down and listen to Van Halen now, but like back when I got Van Halen 1, people were still buying CDs then.
Yeah, back in the good old days, man.
Yeah.
Back in the good old days. I think it was yeah, like, I think I got really into buying CDs like around like maybe like 2005, 2006, something like that.
Dude, do you remember your first CD?
That I ever bought with my own money.
Yeah, with your own money.
Man, I'm not sure. I feel like I probably got oh, damn. I bought so many CDs. Back.
Man, it could be a tough one to remember. Like, I remember mine specifically because my mom let me listen to it on the way back, and she was like, "Nope, we're not listening to anymore."
That's the devil's music.
Yeah, it was just Master of Puppets, and I'd never, like, I'd heard like Kill 'Em All, and I think Death Magnetic had just came out, and a friend of mine, he gave me a bootleg copy that he had like downloaded from the internet, like LimeWired it, and it had every song but The Day That Never Comes. But like that one was on YouTube. You could just look that one up. And that was, like Kill 'Em All. His dad would play that all the time, but I'd never really heard Master of Puppets other than the song Master of Puppets. And my mom was like, okay. I was like, begging, like, can we listen to it on the way back home? She was like, we'll give it a go. But if that's it, if it's not good, one song, I'm like, it's gonna be good. It's fucking Master of Puppets. And put in the CD, and battery plays, and the intro's like, she's like, oh, this isn't bad. And then the song kicks in, and it was just like an awkward rest of that song. I knew it was too heavy for the car ride back, and we put in my sister's like Hannah Montana CD or something after.
That's so funny. But I do remember the first metal album I ever bought. People hate them all the time, but I gotta give credit where credit's due. Avenged Sevenfold, City of Evil was.
Hey,
that was a great album.
That's my favorite Avenged Sevenfold, dude. For real, like.
I don't know, like they're a little bit of a guilty pleasure. I don't listen to them very often, but I oftentimes go back to Waking the Fallen.
So, yeah, dude, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Like, I remember
for the metalcore breakdowns for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. My introduction to them was the same guy who gave me like the bootleg Metallica, Leighton Ware, that's his name. Shout out to Leighton Ware. Don't
Yeah,
know
I
what you're
remember that
doing,
guy.
but yeah, he was really cool. He got me into metal when I was like in 6th grade. And Avenged Sevenfold was his favorite band, and he was cranking Unholy Confessions all the time, and all that stuff. But my very first intro to them was Need for Speed Most Wanted. It had Blinded in Chains on it, and after I heard Blinded in Chains, I already kind of knew who Avenged Sevenfold was, like meeting Leighton. But still, it was freaking awesome. Like, it was just getting into that whenever you're like, a little kid, basically, you're in 6th grade and your first introduction to metal is Avenged Sevenfold and Metallica. It's like the purest introduction. At least it felt that way.
Absolutely. And man, real quick shout out to Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Dude, man, what console did you have that for?
I had it for GameCube at least. I think I had it for GameCube.
I think I had it on PS2, or I don't think I had it on Xbox.
Nah.
PS2. But
I had it for GameCube and PC. That's right.
Nice. Dude, it got hard near the end. Your wanted level, you'd have to get like $1 million bounty on you.
Oh yeah. And then like Officer Cross or whatever his name is, that dude. Yes. And he's just like, oh, did I hurt your ride or whatever? And just like slide the fucking key. He's making like the most heinous faces as he's doing it. He's just like, ooh.
Oh man, that game's a classic.
Yeah. 15 years old now, 2005.
Wow. It's really crazy to go back and look at those games, especially if you're not seeing them in a while, and it's like, wow, like this used to be the best fucking graphics.
Yeah, it looks like shit now. Yeah.
Movies too.
That's just how it's going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, movies too, for sure. It's just like you watch a movie in like, I don't know, 720p. You're just like, what is this shit? Is that like 360p or something?
Yeah. Dude, I watched some YouTube video explaining why older movies look better in 4K than new movies. And it's because the film that they shot on was a 35 millimeter film, and it has more whenever you like pixelate it, it has like 8K worth of pixels. So putting it in 4K, super clear. Whereas when you're shooting digital nowadays, you're shooting in 4K. So that's the limit. Like that's just the resolution you're going to get because it's digital. It's I wish they would make more, tape movies again, so they would look better. Like,
I'm sure that they'll probably do that. There are people that do that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think Tarantino did Hateful Eight in like the 70 millimeter, like the Western style, for like the real widescreen stuff.
Yeah, I still need to see that. I don't think I've seen it.
It's good, man. It's like he does the best modern westerns of anybody.
What was that?
Oh man, pretty tough.
There's something on Netflix, Buster Scrubs.
That's a good. Yeah.
That one's it's interesting. It's like a spin-off of a western. Like it's like 6 different stories, and they're all kind of fucked up in their own little way. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I highly recommend that too. Like it's really good. Lots of good actors in that too.
Mm. Whenever I was younger, I never really appreciated westerns as much as I do now. Now that I've aged, it's like, oh, Clint Eastwood actually like knew what he was doing, that kind of thing. And Back to the Future 3 too. I didn't like Back to the Future 3 for a long time because it was a western, but now it's probably one of my favorite Back to the Futures.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Mm.
I mean, dude, the first one is, I think, probably still my favorite.
Yeah, you can't.
But,
it's hard at
first one's a classic.
Yeah.
Dude got the big amp, and it just electrocutes everything, and
sends it flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the ideal tone goals right there.
Right there. Everything went to 11, Spinal Tap style.
Yeah, Spinal Tap. There is a good movie for sure.
For
I've
sure.
so many times.
I love it. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's a classic.
It's just like whenever it's like comfort food, you know, you could be away from it for a while, but it's like when you come back to it, you're just like, oh yeah, this tastes good. You know?
Agreed.
Yep, that's for sure.
I love it. I love how they ran out of like ideas for how their drummers died. They're like, he just spontaneously combusted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes it'd be like that, though. It's like
Sometimes
hard to
it'd
keep
be
drummers. No offense.
Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, I said, you know, it's hard to keep drummers. No offense.
Yeah, especially if they catch on fire or explode.
Yeah.
something like
Correct.
that.
Yeah. Dude, me and
Drummers,
Turbo
yeah.
have been playing together. He's been my drummer for like you've been the drummer for a long time. I would almost say 10 years maybe. But
Yeah, it's a possibility. I
I
don't
don't know.
remember
You
whenever.
played guitar with me for like at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I don't remember the
Yeah,
transition time.
I don't either, man. But yeah, like me and Turbo started playing a band together, playing guitar. We were 13. We were both playing guitar, and our good buddy Eli Barrett was on drums.
Shout out to Eli Barrett.
Shout out to Eli Barrett. And we'd never had a need for a bass player because we were 13, man. We just need 2 guitars.
That's right.
That's all you need. Dude, bass doesn't matter. It's just gonna be treble and kick drum anyway, playing through like a Fender G deck or whatever. I had one of those. Shout out to Fender.
Shout out to Fender. I played a Ibanez. It was like, I don't even remember the name of it. I still have it in jam room actually. But it's some starter Ibanez guitar. And
Geo or something.
Ibanez Geo.
was it a Geo?
I think so. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. I'm not sure.
It was great. The good old days. Turbo had I think at that time you were playing the Kramer V, weren't you?
I think so. I also had the Kramer V, and then I chipped off the long part of the V, throwing it in the back of the Dodge Durango. But then I had an
Ooh.
Iceman for a while. Ibanez Iceman.
That's
The-
what you used.
The
You
signature
used
guitar.
the Ibanez.
Yeah,
that
was
was
a
your
sick
main.
guitar. That was a
It
nice
was,
guitar.
yeah.
I don't know what
Shout
happened
out.
to it.
His eyes.
Shout
Man.
out to Ibanez. Eric, do you have a favorite guitar in your arsenal? Is there one that's your baby more than any other?
I mean, yeah, the Les Paul is pretty much the it's pretty much the here, let me grab it. I got it
Yeah.
right here so I can show everybody. This baby right here.
Yeah. That classic Les Paul used on the Bones of the Earth records.
Yeah, I think it was mainly used on the second one. I can't remember if we used it on the first one at all.
Oh,
I
really?
think it was my SG that I used for the first one.
I was totally just guessing too if you used them on the record. I'd assume you would because it was your favorite. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
See this one's cool because it's like I started playing guitar left-handed for whatever reason. Fun fact: I'm actually right-handed, but I play guitar left-handed. So
What? I had no idea.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
So
I'm
it's
left-handed.
I always learned.
I'm
That is
left-handed,
wild.
but I play guitar right-handed.
Yeah, so
That's weird.
that's pretty much yeah. So I don't know why it is. It's just
Yeah, I just
hand that
assumed you
has-
were left-handed, man.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone assumes that I am, but no, this hand's the good one.
That's awesome, dude. I mean, like you know the guitar so well too. It's unique. Like the first time I like really kicked it with you, we were having a tour, like a pre-tour party at my house, and you came down and you picked up one of my guitars. It was right-handed, and just flipped it upside down, like Hendrix style. Was just like going at it, like that stuff that Hendrix was known for, was being able to flip a right-handed guitar and just jam. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's really funny too. It's just like, people aren't used to that, and they're not used to thinking about like every string backwards. But it's just like, okay, I'm used to it all the time because I go to people's houses or whatever, and they'd have a guitar sitting around, and I'd mess around with the guitar instead of like, I don't know, doing other stuff. It's just like, I'm like the cat person at the party. If there's a guitar, I'm playing the guitar. I'm sorry.
I feel you, dude. I'm the guy too. Turbo gets mad at me when we're having parties and I'm like doodling. And then I'll be like, everybody, you want to hear a song? And he's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Depends on how many people are over.
Like Tenacious D and stuff. You did that last time. It.
Dude, yeah, we love Tenacious D.
That was really fun.
We've been learning quite a bit of Tenacious D lately because we're gonna like start doing a little acoustic thing at bars whenever Rona's not such a huge thing.
Yeah, that Rona though.
Rona, dang Rona.
How many plans did you get ruined from Rona?
But I'm sorry, I missed that last thing. What ruined for Rona?
Oh, how many things got ruined because of Rona for you?
So many things.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Rona scares this week. I mean, Turbo's wife got tested for Rona. She came back negative. Awesome. My buddy Lucas, he got tested for Rona. He came back negative. Awesome.
Our workout guy, our workout buddy.
Our workout buddy.
Tested. Yeah.
He got tested. That's kind of his fault, though. He went to Mexico.
He went to Cancun. Yeah.
He went to Cancun. This guy went to Cancun, but he got tested when he got back. Rona free.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm almost at the point of this whole like thing where it's like I'd rather just if it's gonna happen, then I'd rather just like get it and have it over with type of thing than to always be living in this like uncertainty of like, oh, you got tested this day and you came up negative, but
what about it?
Once you step out of that clinic, wherever you got tested at or whatever it is, you step out of there and you could be exposed to it. And it's like, oh, well, my test result came back negative. It's like, well, you still have it though. It's just weird to me to go through so many cycles of like just worrying all the time about what's going to happen.
Kind of where we're at now.
Yeah.
Pretty much, dude. I've always thought it's like, it's not if, it's when. I'm just trying to make that win as far back as possible.
Yeah, same. Definitely doing my best.
Yeah,
to make that.
Yeah, if people in Arkansas need to hear me out, I want to not wear a mask too, but I wear it everywhere. So mask the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yep. Gotta wear it every day. Every day.
Gotta learn every day, man. And it's it sucks. You gotta wear a mask everywhere you go, but at the same time, this is like the first time ever that you could wear like a fucking Optimus Prime mask and not seem like a total just like weirdo.
Yeah.
You could like go out in public like dressed up like Optimus Prime with the mask on, and people would be like, "Oh, this guy's just trying to protect himself or protect us from the Rona."
Yeah, protecting you guys. That's what it's for. It doesn't protect you from them, it protects them.
Yeah, protects them from you.
Whenever you think about it, it's almost like a selfish thing to go into a store or like a facility, like a restaurant or something, and have your chin diaper on, not covering your shit. And it's almost like, thanks, asshole. Like, I appreciate it because everybody else is trying to do their damn best. It's like, yeah, it totally sucks, but it's like how selfish can you be in a time where, it's like we kind of got to do this right now. That's all there is to it. It's weird.
Yeah. It's
there's so many times that I see like people's little noses poking up past their mask. It's like I see it 5 times a day. It's terrible.
Yeah, dude. Especially people in Arkansas, they're really bad at wearing masks.
Yeah,
but I'm sure it's not just here. They really don't. A lot of people don't. I mean, there was like an anti-mask protest in Bentonville a while back. Like, dude, like, suck it up. This is literally a fucking pandemic.
I don't know if it's like just me, but like, have you noticed that everybody started driving like assholes as soon as the pandemic started? Like, it's like it wasn't like they weren't before, but it's like 12,000 times more common.
Dude,
Like pretty much I just got like run off the road today.
People were
driving
in
down.
full blown. Oh, sorry, did I interrupt you?
Oh, I was driving down Garland and like there was this other car and he had like a stop sign right, and it's just like a 1-lane road, so it's not like he can like peel in or whatever. And I have the right of way, so like I was going straight, and then this motherfucker decides to like pull a right as I'm crossing, and I'm just like, I had to swerve on the other side of the road because he didn't want to fucking wait.
Oh my god. Jesus, dude. I feel like people went like full blown apocalypse mode. I know I did. Whenever COVID first hit and the toilet paper was flying off the shelves, I was like, oh fuck. It's gonna hit the fan. And I was driving around Northwest Arkansas. I was fucking really trying to just like find toilet paper, stopping at every place I could think of, compromising, buying like tissues from fucking Dollar Tree just in case, and like going as far away as I can to like different roll places, seeing if they've got toilet paper. No one had toilet paper. And at one point, I remember going to a Burger King, and I was like, I'm going to steal. Like, they had the roll of toilet paper just out. It was a whole roll. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking steal this. And I put it underneath my jacket, and I zipped it up. And I was like looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And I put it back, and I ordered some chicken fries.
There you go. Hell yeah. That is great. You helped out someone else in need.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was almost really bad about that. But if the mirror wasn't there and I didn't see how stupid I looked, I probably would have stolen it. Like, that's how desperate I was to make sure my ass had toilet paper. And not even that I think we did need it really bad too. That's what made it worse. We were like already running low beforehand. But my uncle hooked me up. He gave me 3 jumbo rolls. He does a bunch of wholesale stuff at his shop, like eBay stuff. And yeah, hooked me up and got me through the pandemic shortage.
Hell yeah. I still have the fucking toilet paper I bought in March. Like, people don't need shit, dude. I straight up just like stocked up because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But
dude,
like,
nobody did. It was scary. It was pretty scary the first few weeks, for sure.
Oh,
even the first few months, shit.
Yeah.
Like, I remember like the meat flying off the shelf. That was really scary to me.
Oh my God.
Like, there was literally no meat anywhere except for like, you can get like tuna. And so I fucking stocked up on tuna, like all the beef and all the chickens out. But I'm like going to the tuna aisle and the fucking canned chicken aisle, and I'm getting fucking as many cans as I could get. Getting all the canned vegetables were gone for the most part, and I'm getting all these fucking canned vegetables I don't like. Like, all the shitty ones were still there. Yeah, it was fucking, all the ramen was gone. I mean, it was kind of scary. I was thinking like, damn, it would be really nice if I like had my own garden and like animals to eat. But
yeah, but then you just have to keep getting more and making sure that you got plenty of them. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It
was kind of a wake up. Like, it was a lot of it. I mean, I don't even know why everything slowed down, really. I'm not an expert in Rona. I'm assuming everybody was just freaking out, and a lot of, jobs stopped immediately. The transportation, I guess. I don't know if they ever stopped completely. It's like truck drivers. Shout out to truck drivers. People don't give truck drivers enough credit, but they literally make the fucking world work.
Yeah, seriously, shout out to the truck drivers of the world, especially the cool ones. Like, you see at post-storm sometimes, like, yeah, I got my Xbox One in the back. What's up?
Yeah, dude. Dude, like, one of the coolest truck driver experiences I had on tour once. We were somewhere, and I was taking a shower at a truck stop, and I'm like in the waiting room, take a shower. There's a lot of people there. They're pretty busy that day. It was really sanitary though. They had, they got people cleaning out each shower area before each use. So that's kind of why it's taking a while. And Braveheart is on the TV in this lobby area. And like all these truckers are in there and they're watching Braveheart in like complete silence. And it's like, it's the weirdest thing. And then whenever like William Wallace and they like go into battle and some of them are like, yeah, get him. And I was like, yes, this is where I want to be right now. Like fucking truckers getting fired up, watching Braveheart. Turbo, you there? We losing you?
Oh, Turbo.
Yeah.
We got you.
Crazy shit just happened. That's weird.
But yeah, it was me and Trevor were in there watching all these truckers react to Braveheart like it was the first time watching it. It was fucking great.
Man, yeah, I can't recall like a time that I experienced something like that, but that's a pretty great one for sure. Just watching a bunch of truckers just watching Braveheart.
Yeah,
Jokes on you. I think I got more water.
Oh,
got him. Got me beat. I'm starting to run low on my body armor, but that's okay. Except because I'm here doing this at Lucas's house. Prepare.
Shit. So how did y'all get into music? I suppose we could talk about origins and shit like that, probably.
Oh wow! All right, dude, let's do it. Turbo.
Yeah, it's my podcast now. Just kidding.
what's up?
Oh, I was just like, yeah, this is my podcast now.
No, dude, you're good. Ask questions.
Take it over.
Well, like I was into music roughly for like, it's kind of lame. Okay, you're probably gonna laugh at like the band that really got me into music. So I got guitar. I got a guitar for Christmas when I was like 10. Maybe I was 9. I was gonna be 10 later that year, or the next year, I guess. But so I get my guitar and it's cool. I remember I spent the whole first day just like kind of strumming it and pissed off my parents. Like it's plugged in an amp. I've got everything turned all the way up and I'm just like making noise. They got me lessons. I took lessons for like a year, and for the first 4 or 5 months, I was like, yeah, this is cool, but I wasn't like fully in it. Like my favorite band at the time was Leonard Skinner, which was like fucking, I loved Skinner and I loved their licks and shit, but yeah, like my chops weren't up to Skinner level, so I wasn't having as fun of a time just learning basic dumbed down version of Skinner songs when I wanted to be like playing it, but my chops weren't there. Anyways, I was kind of losing interest in guitar, not completely, but like it was like on the back burner kind of thing. I'm 10 years old at that point. Like I've got things like soccer and football and other shit to do. And for like maybe my 10th birthday, or it was Christmas the next year, whatever it was, I don't know. I got this AC/DC box set that had 2 AC/DC CDs and a live DVD. And the first thing I did, because DVDs were like still pretty cool back then, and I fucking watched the DVD, and it's like live at Donington 1991. There's like a sea of 1 billion people there, and Angus Young, like the drummer and everybody else is on stage, and everyone's like, oh yeah, whatever. And then Angus Young comes out. He goes, woo! And he starts playing Thunderstruck. And I was like, holy shit, I was blown away. I was like, what in the fuck is he playing with his fingers right now? And yeah, fucking watch that. I would like go to sleep watching that DVD every night. Fucking watching it. And Angus Young had the coolest stage moves to me when I was 10. He's like duck walking across the stage, and he's fucking just all over the place. I don't know how old he was in that DVD. He's still pretty old. Like they started in the 70s and that was like in the 90s. So he was already 20 years into his career. He's fucking running miles during that show and just tearing it up, improvising a lot, having like 10, 15-minute guitar solo breaks. Like it blew my mind. And after that, I was like, I want to play fucking guitar.
Yeah, man, those DVDs, they're real for sure.
Yeah.
I remember I had a laptop when I was a kid. I got one from my dad, something, and I guess I was just, for whatever reason, just obsessed with Led Zeppelin when I was a kid.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like
I
they were my
still
favorite
am.
band. Watched like they had, that that 2-disc DVD that's got like the dune sand on it. Like it's just called Led Zeppelin. It's not like a particular name. It's just a collection of like show footage and stuff. But it's like Royal Albert Hall 1970. Like
I believe Turbo's wife has that DVD, doesn't she?
I think so. Yeah, it was like in a big box looking thing.
Yeah.
It had multiple of CDs in it. I don't exactly know if it's the exact one, but I recall something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
may or may not
actually might have been popular. Yeah, because I know that we did have the box set. My dad was like a massive collector of CDs, like fucking 600 CDs. I don't even know how many CDs he owned. He owned too many. That's how many. Too many. To the point where he wasn't even keeping them in the cases anymore. He had like 30, 35, God knows how many like books of CD like cases, like the CD cases holds like 250 CDs like each.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, yeah.
That's unreal. That's a big collection.
Yeah, no, he loved music, and I loved music when I was a kid too. Like, I mean, I guess like my first obsession was like with the Beatles. I know everybody hates on the Beatles and stuff, but man, Beatles, they did some cool shit, or they inspired other people to do cool shit that might have been cooler, but at the time it's pretty cool,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They have a lot to do with, building the rock and roll world we have today.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And like, I don't know, I feel like just whatever you watch as a kid just like kind of has like influences on you and just like shapes who you are as a person. Like the movie that I used to watch like when I went to bed as a kid and stuff like was Yellow Submarine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's just like that's actually a pretty good kids movie, but it's like trippy as hell.
Yeah, dude.
Trippy as hell. Like they were way ahead of the time with that shit.
They really were, man. Like, I mean, old like fucking rock and roll movies are they're the best. Like Pink Floyd, The Wall, Yellow Submarine, like all that shit. It's just they're just out there to blow your mind, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was back when rock bands could make movies if they were popular enough, I guess.
Yeah, Metallica's like the only one doing it now, and they're not doing too good at it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Through the Never movie was all right, but it wasn't like the fucking Wall, or even not even like Sound and Fury, like Sturgill Simpson. Sturgill Simpson's Sound and Fury is a fucking perfect movie and album, I think. It's just great.
Yeah, I still need to get into that one for sure. But yeah, like man, when I was I started early on like listening to music and everything, Beatles and whatnot, and like my I had 2 older sisters, and like they were listening to like shit like No Doubt at the time. Like Tragic Kingdom still a fantastic album in my opinion. Like that shit still fucks for sure.
Nice.
Banging pop.
Dude, when I remember growing up, my sister and I had a stereo in my room and she had a stereo in her room, and our rooms were like next to each other, and I would be like trying to listen to Slayer, and then she'd turn up some whatever Disney music was awesome at that time in her opinion, and it would just be like a sound battle until my mom yelled at us to like turn all that shit down. I'm like trying to crank up my Rain and Blood CD and shit. Yeah, and sibling wars, man. They're like really funny when you think back on them, because now me and my sister are like best friends, basically.
Yeah, for sure. And like that was also like when Linkin Park was huge and shit, man.
Oh, dude.
Shout out to fucking Chester Bennington.
Bennington, rip. I remember when all those Linkin Park songs were out on like VH1 and shit. Like I was watching the music videos growing up as a kid.
Yeah, you ever remember pop-up videos, dude?
Pop-up videos?
Yeah, I
Was
don't
that the
know.
show? Was that like the music video show or something?
I think so, and it just like there would just be like a fact that bubbles up on the screen. Again, I'm like way older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, dude, I remember that.
I just remember like the song. It's like pop-up video.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know if it was pop-up video that we were watching every morning. Maybe it was, but whenever like my mom had like left my first stepdad, we were like living in this tiny house, and every morning I would wake up early. It was good ass house though. Like I had to remember myself. I was a happy kid, you know.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
But every morning I'd wake up early because I would watch fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! And Power Rangers in the morning.
Yes.
And I like literally would wake up at 6 to watch those because it was like 6 and 6:30 was like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Power Rangers, and I knew it. And my mom in the living room, she'd be like getting ready in her room, but she would have the living room on VH1 like cranked up, like fucking listening to whatever is going on in the the 2000s world. All those music videos. I remember seeing like I Believe in a Thing Called Love music video, and I thought that was really cool when I was a kid. And fucking like when the Black Keys got big, I remember like all those fucking music videos. And I mean, just all that 2000s music. It's ingrained in my fucking head from that. And it's like one of my favorite childhood memories. Not even that I'm into that music, but it's so nostalgic to me that like I kind of I love it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I tend to mostly listen to stuff from the 2000s, honestly. It's just like everything was better in the 2000s because we didn't know shit about like drum programming and all the stuff that makes everything sound fake. It didn't exist, so everything had to be real,
Yeah, for sure, man. The 2000s were just like, it was kind of like the awkward transitioning growing up phase of like switching like analog to full digital, Like I feel like that was definitely the decade where more people shifted to digital recording and stuff at first, or like the first real big transitions.
Pro Tools, yeah.
Pro Tools, man.
I feel like
Pro Tools start?
Oh God. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna look it up right now. I could though. Like
it was either like I wouldn't be surprised if it started in the 90s. I can check right here on my phone, man. Or you got the keyboard.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah, you're not only are you our guest, you're our Jamie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie, look that up.
Look that up, Jamie.
Fucking wizard.
When did it start?
While you look that up, I'm gonna be really unprofessional. Take a bite of a pork chop.
Oh.
1991. Pro Tools is older than me.
Wow.
What year were you born?
1992.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. November 11th, 1992 is my birthday. Born at 11:34. So
nice. Guys, you guys almost saw me just like choke on that pork chop.
We would have watched you die and been like, how the fuck are we going to save him?
You'd have to call Lucas.
Maybe, Nick. Podcast now.
Yeah, I was trying to eat it quick, and so I was swallowing it before it was all chewed up. And oh, man. That would have been a really good episode, though. Like, Nick almost dies on the podcast. That would trend.
Yeah, no, it would absolutely trend, and me and Turbo would be the host, and I would end up playing guitar. What to do?
Yeah, that would be fucking crazy.
So funny,
man.
Yeah.
So Eric, I know you're into. Oh, sorry, dude. Go ahead. I interrupted you.
No, please. We can go on something else. I was just saying, like, I could just look up shit. So it's cool.
Oh, right. Hell yeah, dude. We need to get you in the same room as us. We are Jamie, and just like every now and then throw in some cool dialogue.
Yeah, it's just like just put up this random JPEG of like a penguin holding an axe or something.
Jamie, show me that video of that monkey sniffing its butt. Like stupid shit like that. But
back.
anyways, done dogging on Joe Rogan. I fucking watch his podcast like every day, so I have the right to dog on him. I watch him enough. I know you're like really big into gaming, dude. Like, what's your game of choice at the moment?
Man, I haven't been gaming very much, but the last game that I was super into, and of course it's not a new game, Super Mario 64. I got 3D Mario All Stars when that dropped, and I'm still at like 116 stars. I don't want to do those. Much of a pain in the ass.
Almost there though, man. You're 4 away.
Yeah. But
It's a grind.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I think that was like my first game though. So it's just like one that I can always come back to. It's super comfortable.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Trying to beat it 100%, like shit's hard.
Dude, yeah. I only know one person personally who's like 120 starred that, and that was my first stepdad, Dennis. We had the 64 pretty early in my childhood, luckily, because he liked playing video games and stuff, so it was like the household 64. And yeah, I remember watching him like fucking beating Bowser after getting all 120 stars, or like maybe that was the last one or whatever. But like doing the complete 100 run, and he was like so excited that he had 100% of that game.
Oh my god, yeah, it's a grind to do. I mean, I would say that Ocarina of Time's probably like way more of a grind to do, but I don't know, just as hard.
Yeah, I could never 100% it. I don't know where all the pieces of heart are, man.
Yeah, that's a whole thing for sure. I don't know where they are either.
And like the spiders, what are they called?
Skull Toll.
The skull, yeah. You gotta find all of those too to 100% it. They had a lot going on for 98. That game had it going on.
Yeah, that was the Skyrim of my time for sure. Just like as soon as that game came out, changed everything. Still has changed everything.
Dude,
man, that house used to fucking give me nightmares. Like this house of Skull in Kakariko, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Like, you see,
that house was so scary.
Yeah, that was cursed, and it's just like I think I just like accidentally like hit one of them in the back once, and I was just like, oh god, no!
Don't attack me! Oh man, dude, I remember what the scariest thing to me was whatever enemies those were, like they looked like zombies, the brown guys.
Oh yeah.
And they would like jump on you, they'd freeze you with their scream. Oh yeah, and then they'd jump on you. And it looked like they were humping you. Yeah, those freaked me out when I was a kid. And so did the thing that was in the well, like the hand thing. Oof, dude.
Oh yeah, Dead Hand. Yeah, that guy sucked.
Dude, Dead Hand was terrifying. He's got the hands in the floor coming up, and then he's like coming at you to eat your face off.
Yeah. This is like walking with his like shaking his head left and right. Yeah, man.
Oh, dude, terrifying for a rated E game in '98. Like
Lucas, that game should not have been rated E. It was too scary.
I know, dude. Whenever they came out with it again on the DS, they made it. I think they made it E10. But still, it's like pushing T boundaries on that. It's kind of scary.
I mean, they had to change the blood to green. Like, I'm a huge nerd about Ocarina of Time, and there's actually like different version releases of the game. So, like back for the first release, they actually had like a song with God, I can't remember if it's like Hindu or what. Islam, yeah, Islamic chanting in the track, like for the Fire Temple initially. And so they had to take it out because, you know, they don't like having religious like religious references in their games.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The Fire Temple's a fun one.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I love getting the hammer, even though it's like a major pain in the ass to get.
Yeah.
so you have like all these like steps and everything, like there's a giant opening in the center of the room, and like there's all these steps basically around there, and you could like fall off and like start at the very bottom of the temple if you fuck up something. But like that's how you get the Megaton hammer, is like you just gotta go up the steps and hit like a switch.
Dude, I don't think I ever got the hammer.
Dude, what? The hammer is how did you beat Volvagia?
Oh, maybe I did. Okay, never mind. I remember it. I thought that was like an optional piece. Yeah, no, that's right. You have to like whack-a-mole that guy, doesn't you? The dragon guy?
Yeah.
It's like a whack-a-mole boss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you need it to actually get past the dungeon, because you have those switches that are like rusted one way or the other, and you have to hit them with the hammer.
Dude, yeah, like fucking, I gotta play it again. It's been at least a decade since I played Ocarina of Time, or whenever I had it on the 3DS. Probably not a decade, but like 6 years at least. And once you beat it on the 3DS, you unlock the Master Quest version. And I only got to the fucking the Forest Temple in the Master Quest version, and it was just too much. I couldn't find enough keys.
Yeah, it's the worst. I played up to Spirit Temple in Master Quest, but I can do like regular Ocarina of Time basically blindfolded. I know that game so well.
Dude, I wish I did. I'd still have to I would have to go back and take a refresher. I mean, I'm sure it would all come back to me, but I definitely see myself YouTubing the Water Temple if I had to do it today.
Yeah, it was the 3DS that taught me the Water Temple, actually, because it's like the graphics were better, and so like it was better at indicating like what certain floors like did, or like where rooms led to, sort of thing.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And plus, I have like that stone, and it tells you basically how to do everything in the game.
I'm pretty sure I still Googled it whenever I beat it on the 3DS.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is, but I mean, still a great game, dude. And I beat Majora's Mask for the first time on the 3DS. As a kid, I could never beat it on the 64. The time thing fucked me up too much.
Yeah, I still haven't beaten Majora's Mask either. That game still stresses me out, and I honestly don't like it. I love the story and like the plot and like the side quests and everything, but I just don't like playing it.
Yeah,
and I'm like the only person that like thinks. But
hey man, to each his own. To each his own. It's definitely story-wise one of my all-time favorites. It's like the darkest Zelda game until like Twilight Princess, I guess.
I think it's even darker. I mean,
it
honestly,
really is.
Like, I don't think Twilight Princess is really that dark. It just looks dark.
Yeah. They honestly, like, Nintendo's really lightened up the tone of Zelda since Twilight Princess. They've gone with, like, the cell animation for, like, basically every game since then. Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, for sure.
But they look great. They look like, they're not completely cell-shaded, but it's, like, a lot lighter and more friendlier looking.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited for that next one. Like, I have Breath of the Wild, but I still haven't really like played it. It's hard for me to get used to like Ocarina of Time my entire life. It's like an entirely different game to me, and I don't get it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I've never played it more than like 10 minutes. I was at my little cousin's house, or I was at my aunt's house, and my little cousin has a Switch, and he was like, "Want to play Zelda?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." So we freaking start a new game, and I was like going through like talking to people, kind of doing tutorial stuff, and I got my first fight with the Goblin guys and whatever they are, and they kicked my ass, and I died right there, and that was it, and I put it down. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to play this because I'm going to spend my whole time here playing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny too. Like, so a couple of years ago, like I lost a job that I was working at, and I got like in a super bad depression as soon as I lost my job because it was like right before Christmas and everything. And so I just like ended up playing like Smash Ultimate when that came out, and that like I would think I was playing that game like 10 hours a day. It was something stupid like that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Is still sick. For sure.
That's what makes video games great, though, dude. They're like a lot like music. They can help you out in times when you need help.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, like a game could definitely save your sanity sometimes.
Truly. Yeah, music is the best medicine that there is. Well, other than medicine, I mean.
Oh, for sure. Like, there's nothing better than just jamming out on an album that maybe one that you've never heard, but just an album after a rough day, and it just like hits that spot in your your emotion that you're like, I needed that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Help write it out, make things better.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I've
got any albums like that sort of thing you put on after a bad day, and that's makes you feel better, or you can get angry for a little bit, or
I really can't think of one I mean, I guess if I'm angry, sometimes I'll go mostly like Slayer, because that's just angry music more than like a lot of death metal just sounds like evil, but Slayer's like angry. That's like Tom Araya yelling in a microphone. They're playing as fast as they can, like old school Slayer for a long time. That's what I would jam when I was angry. But when I was like 14, when I discovered Job for a Cowboy, Entombment of a Machine, dude, that helped me through many a rough days. And honestly, a lot of people dog on it. I don't like the snare sound, but Saint Anger would help. Like that got me through some rough days too when I was in high school.
Yeah,
it's a rough one for sure, man. But like, it's got some decent riffs and broad enough songwriting that when I was a teenager, I was like, yeah, I really feel that, man.
It's Saint Anger. It was an album that that was created because of the anger that was internally, there within the band. So I love it. I think it's great. Sweet Amber is like probably one of my top songs from Metallica.
For sure. I mean, Sweet Amber, it's a bitchin' song, dude. But like Lars' snare is still bad.
It's just a basketball. That's all he did. He went into the studio, and instead of the snare, he just took the basketball, and he would hit the basketball every time.
He took Kobe's basketball.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Rip.
Rip. No disrespect to Kobe. I love Kobe.
Absolutely not. No disrespect to Kobe. You can play ball, sure. He had his own game on the 64. That's how you made it.
I think I never had like a 64 or anything. I think the first ever gaming console I was into that I ever got was a Sega Genesis. It was the first ever like handheld Sega type thing, other than Game Boys. Game Boys were
Game Gear, Sega Game Gear.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think there's an old one somewhere over here, but it obviously doesn't work anymore. But I would play Sonic the Hedgehog all the time. Like that was my one and only jam the whole time.
Absolutely, dude.
And then I think the first console I got was a PS2. So I was late in the video game world.
Shout out to PS2.
PS2 is still probably like the best console ever, man. In my opinion. It just, when I was a kid, I remember when the PS2 came out, my friend had it, and he got the new Spider-Man game, the movie game, and I was like blown away. Wow, this looks awesome. Yeah, dude. And I fucking got a PS2 sometime in my early. I mean, I don't know how early through its life cycle I got it. I still had one of the fat ones though. That was my first PS2. And it was great.
Way better.
Dude, Slims were great. Dude, one time I was staying the night at my dad's house, and a friend of his left his PS2 at his house, and he had a Slim PS2. And when I went to I was like going home that Sunday to go back to my mom's house. It's like, I was staying there every other weekend. I was packing my PS2, and he was like, nah. It's like, take this one. I just left my fat one there, and he gave me the skinny one. Because it was back in the memory card days. It didn't matter. It's just like, you had your memory card. That was all your games. And like, I was like, I can't do that, Dad. But he's like, yeah, you're going to do it. He's like, he left it here for way too long. This is yours now.
Wow.
So that was really cool. Thanks, Dad. It would load games a lot better than the fat one.
Something like weird that I have interest in is like video game business. Like the PS2, like I don't know if you know anything about the PS2, but like at the time, DVD players super expensive, right? So it's like with the PS2, you could get a DVD player and a game console, so it was the better buy overall versus a DVD player. At the time, they were like $200 something. I don't know how much they were, but
yeah, dude, they were. It's crazy to look back at the old DVD players and how they're like fucking huge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
old
wow.
VCR combos. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you had to have the combo because you still had all those VCR movies, Like it took people a long time.
You didn't watch those.
It took us a long time to get rid of our VCR and all of our VHS tapes.
Man, shout out to VHS tapes.
I know, dude. Shout out to VHS tapes that would fucking mess up after so many watches, and shout out to PlayStation games that you would go to the intro screen and never load.
Yeah.
The red screen of death.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's that's a big part of your childhood. If you didn't take care of games, and sometimes you take perfectly good care of them. Your fucking PlayStation wouldn't load it one day. It would just fucking do the intro and keep diving.
And stuff, yeah. That's a real issue with them. Like the laser won't work or whatever. Yeah, I took terrible care of things that I had when I was young. Like I was the worst with discs and stuff. I would just like leave them in the house and just like have a stack of them or whatever. Like, I'm sure we all did that as kids. It's just like, why would you put it back in the case?
I would leave them stacked on top of each other, but I would keep shiny side on shiny side,
Yeah. Oh my God. Shiny side up when you're doing all of them.
If I had two of them, I wouldn't stack them like all shiny side up on top of each other. I don't know why. I would stack them shiny side on shiny side. That's what made the most sense to me as a kid. I was like, oh, they won't get scratched up this way. If you keep both the sides that aren't supposed to get scratched facing each other. They all got scratched.
But man, that time was the best though. The extreme sports video game revolution, Tony Hawk in 1999. Got the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 in 2001. Wore that shit.
Oh yeah, man. The Tony Hawk games are like they created literally a whole new video gaming genre. Like I'm sure there was maybe some big skateboarding games back in like the 8-bit and 16-bit days, but like it was like the perfect 3D skating game, man. It really was.
Yeah, no, for sure. So the funny thing about that is they actually released a documentary about the Tony Hawk recently, like a movie that you like watch. But they were saying like there weren't that many skating games. There was like Skate or Die and like California games, and the main one was like 720 Skater or something like that. 720 Top Skater, something like that. It was like an arcade machine. Sega made it, and so they were just like, basically we're gonna try to do something that's like a 720 Skater, but throw some comics and shit in there, and went on to make like 6 or 7 good games.
Oh wow.
Now
Yeah.
8.
Wow. 720. I never heard of that one, man.
Yeah, I'm a big old geek when it comes to history of game stuff. It's kind of
Netflix has a new, I don't remember what it's called, but it was a new docuseries about like early gaming history and stuff. And it would have people that are like adults now, but they were like kids in like the first Nintendo tournaments. They were like describing their time there and how they would be like, they'd go to their town. Like one kid won like the Super Nintendo tournament. You had to play like a Mario 64 or not 64 up. It was Super Mario World with like 2 other games on the it was like all on one cartridge though. It was like the competitor cartridge, and you had to like I think you had to get to like 100 coins in a quick time, and then you had to beat a level of something else pretty quick, and then you had to play Tetris for the remaining time, and whoever had like the highest Tetris score would like win the thing, and he like lost. And sorry if I'm spoiling this for people that want to watch that, but it's like fucking he
Spoiler
lost,
alert.
and then he like talked his parents into taking him to another city. He was like, "Please take me over here." It's like, okay, well, and he competed in that other city and won, and he went to finals and won, and he was like, he won his age group. He was like 10 years old or something, but that would be fucking crazy.
Wow.
Man, have you ever seen like competitive Tetris at like a professional level? Like some of the best players in the world. That shit is like the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
Is
dude,
it fast?
I bet it's crazy.
Oh yeah, like they play it on like the NES, the original NES cartridge, and just like they were like speeding, and man, these guys, they go super quick, and it's like they don't know what's happening next and all this stuff.
That's crazy.
I mean, we've pretty much talked video games this entire podcast, but I mean, they are an important part of my life. And
dude, yeah.
One time that I found really interesting on like my pursuit of knowledge about video games, and there's actually a really good documentary about this on a CBS All Access. Like, you don't even need to get a membership; just get a free trial and just watch that. It's basically the only thing worth watching.
Oh, nice.
But it's called Console Wars. It's about like the war between Nintendo and Sega back in the early 90s, and I think that's like,
I bet it gets pretty heated.
That's like one of the most interesting times, like that whole time in general, the early 90s, like that's when it was starting to be like, video games aren't just for kids, we're gonna make stuff for adults too. So like that's where, because Nintendo was like for the kids, and like all the kids wanted Nintendo, and just like, so where's the audience? So it'll be like teenagers and adults. So we make stuff that's cool for teenagers and adults, right? And like attack Nintendo and their advertising and shit.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
I remember a lot of those the Sega commercials, mostly from like the Sega at the end, and and that documentary on Netflix, the whatever one that I was talking about earlier. I don't know the name, but go on Netflix, you'll find it, guys. But yeah, they like brushed over the Sega Nintendo rivalry, but it wasn't much. So I kind of know some of it, but I would really like to watch that console war.
So yeah, I mean, I'll spoil a little bit of it for you. I mean, it's all like, if you wanted
history
to look it up there, it's history. Yeah, it's not really like, oh, I didn't know that happened. Shit. So basically, like, the real deal thing that happened was the release of a game called Mortal Kombat. So that was like, Sega's finally getting a big game. I mean, they had Sonic the Hedgehog, huge, like, obviously. But both games released on both the game released on both consoles, and then so in the arcade version, there's like blood and stuff, like, violence, blood, and fatalities, and all this sort of thing. They took all those out of the Super Nintendo version of the game, but
Lame.
with the Genesis version, it kept all the blood and stuff in. I think I don't know if you can do the fatalities like without a code, but you can make the blood red with a code. And so, Senator Lieberman or whatever, I think it was a senator, basically like assembled like a panel, like basically like saying like, these games are violent for our kids, and we're gonna try to do something about it, that sort of thing. And so they got both Sega and Nintendo to sit down and like in a court case, like basically just like sit to each other, just watching this stuff, and it's just like, what do you have to say for yourselves, kind of shit.
Oh man, people were. If you showed those people from the '90s like what video games became, they would freak out. They would cancel the whole industry.
Yeah, no kidding. But it's just like the teenagers, they wanted the blood and stuff. Like, obviously,
Yeah,
blood's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool
I would.
You want to see somebody's spine getting ripped out of their body? Like, why not?
Why not? Like, it's a video game. It's no different than like watching a violent movie, like a violent '90s movie at the time. Watching, fucking even like one of my favorites, Air Force One, Harrison Ford killing a bunch of terrorists on his plane. That was pretty violent to me when I was a kid. I thought that was cool as shit. And like all the cool ass '90s and '80s action movies, they were violent, man. They were killing motherfuckers just because they were the good guys and they were the bad guys. Indiana Jones, man, that shit's pretty violent. That was like a PG movie. People getting their faces melted off and shit. Like, you could do it in a movie, but not in a game. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, pretty much like all that discourse and everything led to the creation of the ESRB, which tells us what games are rated.
Yeah, which is fair. I mean, that's people need to. Yeah, but parents probably need to know what their kids are playing to control what they see and don't see at certain ages.
But it's best when they don't give a shit.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah,
I know. Like my mom was really strict on M-rated game. Like she didn't know about M-rated games for a long time until me and my stepbrother Andrew rented a game called Conker's Bad Fur Day on the N64 Blockbuster, and it was one of my favorite games because the multiplayer was great. The multiplayer was ahead of its time, in my opinion, and the story was hilarious. And they even like bleeped out most of the cuss words. I don't believe they would just say certain ones, but it was still so violent and so vulgar. Like she walked in on us playing it one day and was like, "What the fuck are you guys playing?" Fucking made us stop playing it. It was like, "You're never getting a rated M game at Blockbuster again," and that crushed us because we used to rent Turok all the time. And yeah, after that, no more rated M. But my dad, when I'd stay at my dad's house every other weekend, I was just like free to play anything. I was playing like SOCOM 2 on the PlayStation 2.
Well, hell yeah.
SOCOM 2 was the shit.
But man, the GameCube one, you could play as Link though.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, GameCube had a SOCOM?
Oh, I thought you said Soul Calibur.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, SOCOM, like the military game, like it's like they're like Navy SEAL team or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got far in it because it was kind of a tactical game too, and I was like just a little kid playing it, my run and gun mentality. But I did beat Ghost Recon back in the day when I was younger.
Sick.
The OG Ghost Recon.
Too much. My shit was always platformers, man. Like platformers is what I grew up with, and still my favorite type of game. Like I'm still playing Mario 64, still playing Crash 3, still playing Spyro 2, still playing Spyro 1.
Fucking right. Dude, did you ever play the Jak and Daxter trilogy on PS2?
I had the first one. I never got into the other two, but man, Jak and Daxter 1 though.
Pretty great.
One of the best games ever, hands down. One of the best games ever.
Yeah, it was just so good. Like the platforming and the level design, and it was great. Jak 2 and Jak 3, I was like, as I got older, the games kind of matured with me, so it was great. That was like a little darker tone. You got guns this time. Gonna rip off Grand Theft Auto, but it's in the future.
What was that one? Ratchet and Clank. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. I like that one. I never got Jack and Daxter. I got the combat racing game that they came
That was
out.
that's a good spin-off of the series.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well,
Also,
dude,
Sly Cooper.
dude, Sly Cooper was the shit. It was
Yeah.
awesome. The first time I played it was like on those demo discs you'd get back in the day at Walmart for like $5. They would have like 10 demos on it. And I played the demo. I was like, oh my God, that's like all I wanted for Christmas was Sly Cooper, because that was my favorite demo to play.
Dude, yeah, I remember the demo discs. That was the shit. Like PlayStation Underground. I used to get.
Yeah, it was like, it was awesome. It was, as a kid, it was like getting 5 games at once.
Yeah.
I was like
demos, and you get watch like, you know, tips and tricks about games that you might not have.
yeah. They were a big part of going to Walmart when I was a kid, though. It's like begging my parents for demo discs. They would never do it. I only had like one, I think, ever. But
A ton of demo discs. Shit was cool.
They were cool as shit. But dudes, I probably need to wrap this up. I think Lucas, I'm using this Wi-Fi at this house. This Wi-Fi at the farm sucks. I think he's getting ready for bed. So
Okay.
let's talk about the last time we played a show together. Let's end on that story. And,
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Was that down in Texas?
That was down in Texas at the Fuzz Fest.
Fuck, that night was
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah, we had.
Yeah, so we're all playing at the Fuzz Fest. You know, we're there with the Salesman. You're there with Bones of the Earth, and Terminus is also there. So there's 3 Northwest Arkansas bands there, and I mean just a shit ton of awesome stoner metal bands from all over, mostly Texas, but there were a lot of them were coming from all over. And yeah, we all got 4 beers apiece, and we were like literally playing at a brewing company that had alcohol that was up to 9% or 10%, whatever it was.
Yeah,
I think it was
stupid.
10.5. I had like 4 of the 10.5 ones.
Because they were our free beer tickets, and yeah, so did me and Turbo and Trevor. Like we all got. I didn't get the 10.5 every time, but it was definitely like 2 of them, and we were partying. We were, you know, like partying in the van, enjoying some things in the van that like is illegal in Texas, but you have your medical card in Arkansas, it is completely legal.
Yes.
We would never break the law out of state, but
Never.
of course.
never. And we were basically pretty litty. And,
Oh, yeah.
It was great, and you know all the bands were awesome, and Rafe stayed completely sober and offered to drive us all to Waffle House, and I feel so bad for him.
Sitting through all that bullshit.
In our Vaniel, like we piled like 9 people in there, like, just all as like a caravan to the Waffle House, and then we all sit down at the Waffle House, like us, the Terminus guys, and you guys, all in one vehicle,
all in one unit, and it was the rowdiest fucking ride there. Turbo and Trevor are like 11 out of 10. They're gone. I mean, I was pretty much 11 out of 10 too, but I wasn't yelling and hollering as much as Turbo and Trevor were.
I also think that was, I think at that time I came in contact with a bunch of mushrooms as well. So I was eating those and drinking. And I don't remember fully what happened, but I'm pretty sure somebody tried to get in a fight with me at Waffle House. I don't know why.
So yeah, me and you definitely had some mushrooms of some type. Not gonna specify what kind, but
shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah, shiitake mushrooms. That's what we had
we're
for
not
sure.
illegal.
And we didn't have much. We just had enough to have a great time, but not like too much of a great time because we were in the middle of a town, of a big city, and we got to Waffle House, and you're like macking on this girl, and we're like, oh my god, like Turbo's putting the moves on, and we're not really thinking anything of it. She's with another girl, and then all of a sudden, like her guy comes and he's like, hey, are you talking to my girls?
No,
And
because he came up and he was like, "These are my cousins." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Well, your cousin's pretty hot."
oh man.
Yeah.
See,
and then-
I wasn't close enough to hear that because we were like at the time just watching it.
Yeah, we were watching like, oh my god, Turbo.
Yeah, and I thought the guy, he was a pretty big dude. I thought he was like gonna throw down, and I was like,
He
oh
was
my
huge.
gosh.
He
Like,
would have fucked me up bad.
yeah, but I mean, we were all pretty drunk in Waffle House. It's like 2 a.m. We're pretty drunk, and me and Turbo are feeling, pretty mushroomed out at that point too. And I think I can't fight. Like I'm too gentle of a creature right now. Like if I had to fight, I would be like slapping you or something. Like it would just be like a slight push because I just want to hug everybody. And I'm freaking out, and I'm like, oh shit. And then something happens, and the guy's just like, you know what? You're a really alpha guy. Doesn't mess with you. Fucking calls you an alpha, and it's like, you're right. I don't own them or some shit. We went about our breakfast.
I don't know what happened, but I just remember that he called you alpha and just like losing it. Just like,
Yeah,
oh my god.
yeah,
I don't think anybody's ever called me that before.
yeah. That guy called you
No.
alpha.
So it was a really big deal whenever he was like, "Oh, you're right. You're the alpha. You're real alpha." It's like, wow. I don't remember much that night. I do remember trying to jump a train though.
Yeah, you tried to jump on a train that was like zooming by. I'm glad you didn't. Yeah, long story short, you guys had Rafe. Rafe was sober. I believe you guys went somewhere else and slept. When Rafe drove us back to the venue, we slept in our van in the parking lot.
Yeah, no, we slept at a hotel. I guess Monty, one of the Terminus dads, he got us all a room at a hotel, and so we. I mean, obviously, when you get a hotel, like you gotta stay in a hotel. That's pretty sick and everything. Yeah. So I remember that we like left our trailer, like the van and the trailer, just like basically back the trailer up into like a nearby like a brick wall or something. Like I think maybe like a building or two away, and just like walked to go to sleep over at the hotel, and it was like the sleep that we had on the entire run.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Backing it up against the wall so nobody tries to steal your shit. But
yeah, man. So like that's the thing. Like Windhand got like robbed because they got like one of the trailers that have like the doors on the side. Like,
oh no,
doors on the side. That's terrible, dude. Why would you ever go on tour with that? I mean, it's like, what can you do?
Yeah, people are dicks, man. But also, I want to give a shout out to Sarah Surfling for putting together that Buzz Fest that we played at last year.
Yeah.
Without her putting that festival together, we wouldn't have crazy mushroom, beer, Waffle House stories. And it was way better than we described it. Like I did a really bad job describing that. But we were there, and it's something we'll never forget, except for Turbo. He's already forgotten most of it.
I think we were all delirious. This was just like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. We just played a show, had some alcohol, feeling tired, ready for bed. It's like, then this shit at Waffle House happens.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be, I feel like a very harmless human being, but apparently at that moment in time, it was not the correct thing to be saying to that very hefty man at a Waffle House at 2 a.m.
It was not, but it worked out. It worked out really good.
Yeah, it was cool.
He wasn't like a violent stranger in the middle of Dallas at 2 a.m. Well, dude, I guess I'm gonna get off here before I keep them up too much longer. You guys are probably tired of me talking. They can hear me in the other room. I'm sure they're. But dude, Erik, I'm glad that we've had this podcast. Next time let's do it in person. Next time you're on.
In the flesh.
In the flesh.
In the flesh.
It's been a pretty good Skype podcast though. Like first time for us Skype podcasting. I mean, it's still just our second podcast, so like, I guess we're gonna have a lot of first times podcast on the podcast. But dude, it's been a blast talking to you.
For sure. I had fun. Sorry, I talked about video games most of the time, but that's just
dude. No,
that's what it's about, man.
That's what it's about. We're just here to talk and have a good time, man. It's been a blast with you.
For sure. Ben and Black. For sure. Thanks for having me.
Dude, anytime. And anytime you want to come back on, I mean, just hit me up.
Yeah. Every so often, probably.
Dude, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Well, guys, take it easy. I'm going to get out of here, get out of these guys' hair, borrowing their Wi-Fi. Hopefully next time me and Turbo will, maybe I'll do it up over at his place so I won't have to like keep Lucas up all night. I'm probably talking way louder than I think too because I have headphones in.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, have a good night. I'll talk to both of you guys later.
All right.
Peace out, my dudes.
Peace out.
Stopping the recording. Oh, my computer is not having a good time. There we go.